The movie has been out for a day and a half now. Not one celebrity, not one news outlet, not one politician has mentioned anything about this movie.
Sound of Freedom is a movie based off of real-life events, and it gives audiences a heartbreaking look into the realities of child trafficking and exploitation. And you would think that a movie like this would universally get praise for spreading awareness about an important issue that we should all want to be stopped. You would think that all of those involved in this film would be praised for standing up for children. The woke left.
And you're going to notice one really common trend with a lot of people that really love this movie. And it's going to be a lot of people that you considered normies in your life. They're going to be falling for this shit. So now we got people like Jeremy Jahns unknowingly, not understanding at all what he's doing, pushing far right-wing Christian nationalist propaganda. That's what he's doing.
Man, I got nothing quippy to say in the beginning. Let's just talk about the heavy movie of the week or year. So Sound of Freedom is a movie, little setup here. I'd never even heard about this movie until a couple days ago. I saw it in the comment section. People were like, why don't you review Sound of Freedom? I was like, what's that? What is that? Turns out it's not what it sounds like. Sound of Freedom sounds like a 2002 war in Iraq military puff piece film. Right, it's not.
I gotta admit, at least the guy has enough awareness, like general awareness, to understand that it sounds like a political propaganda puff piece. At least he's got that much right. Well, he almost did, until he shrugged it off, and tells everybody else to shrug it off. Jesus Christ. It's not the message that they're taking out of it about child sex trafficking. That's not the big message that they're taking out of it. And they're even saying so. The main message that they're really taking out of this, it's that the left doesn't want to talk about it. It's that the left is demonizing this movie. But why? But why? That's their main takeaway, not the child sex trafficking. Do you see them at home donating money to these organizations now or starting up their own? No. They're all talking about the same fucking thing, that the left is pissed about this movie, and rightfully so, because we know more about the funding for this movie and the people that made this movie than you do.
It's listed in the NIH, adrenochrome. Organ harvesting is another whole... That's when the whole thing went off with me with Tim Ballard.
And that's when the whole thing went off with me and Tim Ballard. Right frickin' there. Listen closely, people. For all you people that think Sound of Freedom, Jim Caviezel, and Tim Ballard have nothing to do with QAnon conspiracies, and the Sound of Freedom has nothing to do with monetizing child trafficking, watch this video.
And he started talking to me about that. But again, we don't go into that in the film. The film is phenomenal. I probably just chased away millions of people from wanting to watch this movie.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, you didn't, because this motherfucker knows millions of people didn't see this interview.
It goes all the way to Planned Parenthood, jugs of plastic containers. I think those go to the biolabs. I don't say, I should say that I know they do that.
Yeah, whoopsie, he said, I think, and then, oh wait, I don't think, I know. But keep listening. Hold that thought.
They send them to places like that all over the world.
What do they do with them in the biolabs when they receive them?
Well, either making the adrenochrome or they're using it to, from what I was told, is that, and also for making agents to, kill people with it. So, if I'm a half Irish, half Swiss, they can get my DNA code and create a cocktail and put it off in an airplane, and I'm the only one that dies of a heart attack in the plane. And then you watch a James Bond movie, and you go, well, that's really weird. But
007. Bond's been poisoned. He's going into cardiac arrest.
So,
wow.
Again, this is way ahead of the public narrative. I talked to some, this is not something where it's suggested to me that this is probably why this world cabal is involved in all of this stuff. And it has a lot to do with the blood of our children. The public is now awakening to the trafficking, but eventually leads you to other places.
That's heavy.
Yeah, eventually lead you other places like QAnon conspiracies, adrenochrome, and organ harvesting, like everything I was just fucking talking about. Legit.
That's heavy.
In 2019, Vice News got lucky enough to grab a picture of Tim Ballard's meeting room, and there was a whiteboard, and they got a picture of that whiteboard, and what was on that whiteboard? Tim Ballard's monetizing saving the children from child sex trafficking rings checklist. And there's some really interesting quips on that whiteboard. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Let's start at the top here. Slave stealers, that's the main thing in the middle. Tim Ballard, for profit. Everything leads to slave stealers, or leads out. What comes out or into slave stealers? First one is CLF, the Children's Liberty Fund. The second one is OUR, Operation Underground Railroad. And under that it says sizzle. I'll explain what that sizzle means in a minute. TNF, the Nazarene Fund. Another sizzle. Then CNF, Children Need Family. Sizzle. Then we have Liberty and Light. Same mission. Sizzle, sizzle. Mercury 1. And this is most important. At the top where it says slave stealers, for profit. Next to it, it says, take sizzle of the rescue, rescue underlined, lead them to the covenant, covenant underlined. But then there's a 1 through 4 list. 1 being slave stealers. 2 being podcasts. 3 being Sound of Freedom. 4 being OUR, TNF, and CNF. And I just explained to you what all those are. Operation Underground Railroad, the Nazarene Fund, and Children Need Family. First, let me explain what take the sizzle of the rescue means. That means take the excitement and all the media coverage that they get from a rescue operation and monetize that shit. Use that sizzle and make money off it. So he's saying, you gotta make money off these kids. They're making money off these kids. We gotta make money off these kids too. This is driving a human trafficking organization to get even bigger. It's a both sides win type thing. You think I'm wrong? Prove it. I bring substance when I want to prove something wrong. I bring it. This is me bringing substance. But if I am wrong, show me on that whiteboard where it said things like, we need to spread awareness, or stop these child traffickers, or anything like that. No, everything up there was for profit. Take the sizzle. Everything on that whiteboard revolved around making money off the bad faith acts of bad people. If they're going to keep making money off people doing these bad things, it's a cycle. The bad people will keep doing the bad things, and they're going to keep doing movies about the people doing the bad things. And then they're just going to keep feeding each other, just like a proxy war beast. Just like that. Just like the government feeding a foreign country weapons for a forever proxy war. It's the same metaphorical idea.